Tonight, COVID concerns in school as 1 million students in the nation's largest district return to the classroom. New York City schools fully reopening for the first time in 18 months. No option for remote learning at a time when COVID among children is soaring. Plus, are boosters really necessary? What top experts say in a new study. Also tonight, Tropical Storm Nicholas targeting Texas. 65-mile-an-hour winds, flash floods, and up to 18 inches of rain expected. Al Roker with the new track. Just hours until polls open in California's high-stakes recall. President Biden campaigning with Gavin Newsom as the governor fights for his political life. The armed man arrested near Democratic National Committee headquarters. What police found inside his truck. Fencing about to go up around the Capitol ahead of a planned rally. The fireworks as Secretary of State Tony Blinken testifies on the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. Our Richard Engel back inside the Taliban-controlled country. What he found at the former U.S. Embassy. The urgent spyware warning for Apple users. And the new space race suiting up inside the Jet Propulsion Lab as NASA looks to the next frontier.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening, everyone. Back to school jitters were never quite like this morning, the yellow buses lined up and school bells rang for 1 million children in the nation's largest school system, many walking inside a physical classroom for the first time in a very long time. Their first lesson, as it has been for kids across the country, science, understanding how to safely resume learning against the persistent backdrop of COVID. Tonight, with over 243,000 child COVID-19 cases reported last week, the second highest number since the pandemic began, there is growing impatience for vaccine approval for younger children. Tonight, we ask when. Much of the Gulf Coast is bracing for even more dangerous flooding tonight, with Tropical Storm Nicholas about to make landfall. Al Roker is here. Al, what's the latest tracking on this one?
Well, right now, Lester, we're looking at hurricane watches south of Corpus Christi, all the way near Galveston. We expect to see this system start to develop. It already has 65-mile-per-hour winds. It's moving north-northeast at 12. Already heavy rain from Houston all the way to Bay City. Makes landfall sometime early tomorrow morning, then stretches on in by Thursday morning into parts of Mississippi and Alabama. We have storm surge flood watches right now all the way from South Padre Island to Cameron, 3 to 5 inches at the worst. And we've also got a high risk of flooding today. We're looking at the high risk from Port O'Connor all the way near to Lake Charles, moderate risk all the way back to New Orleans. Why? Because of heavy rain. We're talking about storm totals of 6 to 12 inches of rain, Lester, but some places could see up to 18 inches, including southwestern Louisiana. As you know, they do not need any more rain.
That's a lot of rain. Al, thanks very much. Also tonight, California Governor Gavin Newsom, on the eve of a rare recall election, is turning to the president's support in the final hours before Election Day, one that could prematurely remove him from office. NBC's Jacob Soboroff has details. The president is joining the governor this evening for a final push. What's that going to look like? A new challenge from North Korea, where state media reports the test firing of that country's first long-range cruise missiles, a clear provocation to the U.S., South Korea, and Japan. With more on this, here's Andrea. In 60 seconds, Apple takes emergency action to protect users of iPhones, Macs, and other devices from unprecedented hacking attacks. We'll tell you what you need to know. Back now with an urgent warning from Apple. They're rolling out an emergency update to protect. Now to an update on a story you saw right here. A bipartisan group of lawmakers is demanding answer. And next for us, inside a life-saving program giving hope to kids facing their darkest days. The latest numbers from the CDC are startling. They show a dramatic rise in the number of teen girls attempting suicide during the pandemic. Kate Snow now on a unique program working to save lives in our series, Kids Under Pressure. Today, you can catch another in-depth conversation about mental health and teens with the cast of Dear Evan Hansen. Next for us tonight, our series, The New Space Race. I'll show you how NASA is preparing to go back to the moon and beyond. We're hearing a lot about private companies and space tourism these days, but as I saw for myself, NASA is aiming much farther. And there is plenty out there to see. That's Nightly News for this Monday. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.